Atomic Habits is a guide to break bad habits and adopt good ones in 4 simple steps, showing you how small, incremental, everyday routines compound and add up to massive positive changes over time. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Getting 1% better every day counts for a lot in the long run. Habits are a double-edged sword. They can work for or against you, which is why understanding the details is essential. Small changes often appear to make no difference until you cross a critical threshold. Habits are like trees. The task of breaking a bad habit is like uprooting a powerful oak within us. The task of building a good habit is like cultivating a delicate flower one day at a time. Atomic habits are little habits which are part of a larger system. They are the building blocks of remarkable results. There are 4 steps to achieve every habit: cue, craving, response, and reward. The cue triggers a craving, which motivates a response, which provides a reward, which satisfies the craving and ultimately becomes associated with the cue. The cycle is known as the habit loop. The reward is the most important part of a habit. The cue is noticing the reward. The craving is wanting the reward, and the response is getting the reward. The 4 laws are: the first law, cue, make it obvious. As Carl Jung has rightly said, that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. When it comes to cues, many times we don't even notice them. They happen subconsciously. Therefore, you need to have awareness to begin any behavior change. The second law, craving, make it attractive. James Clear mentions in this book that desire is the engine that drives behavior. Without the anticipation that precedes the action, nothing would be accomplished. The craving leads to the action. To make the action appear more desirable, the craving needs to be attractive. You can build this temptation by linking an action you want to do with an action that you need to do. This can be done by joining habit stacking with temptation building. The third law, response, make it easy. The best is the enemy of good. It is important to distinguish between motion and action. Action delivers an outcome, whereas motion keeps us in perpetuity. When we take action, there is a risk of failure. When we are in motion, we feel like we are making progress without the risk of failure. The fourth law, reward, make it satisfying. As Charles Goodhart has rightly said, when a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. If a behavior is not satisfying, we will not have the craving to repeat the behavior. If the reward is not immediate, we are also not likely to repeat it, as we did not get an instant satisfaction. We can structure our behaviors to make them immediately satisfying and more likely to be repeated. Making habit scorecards is an effective method to track habit progress. How to create a habit scorecard? First, make a list of your daily habits. Second, once you have a full list, look at each behavior and ask yourself, is this a good habit, a bad habit, or a neutral habit? Third, if it is a good habit, write plus sign next to it. If it is a bad habit, write the minus sign next to it. If it is a neutral habit, write the is equal to sign next to it. Habit stacking is a special form of implementation intention. Rather than pairing your new habit with a particular time and location, you pair it with a current habit. This allows you to take advantage of the natural momentum that comes from one behavior leading into the next. The key statement here is that disciplined people are better at structuring their lives in a way that does not require heroic willpower and self-control. Concepts to learn from the book are the law of the least effort. When deciding between two similar options, people will naturally gravitate towards the option that requires the least amount of work. The 2-minute rule states that the first 2 minutes become a ritual at the beginning of a larger routine. The ritual is the ideal way to master a difficult skill. The more you ritualize in the beginning of a process, the more likely you get into a flow state. As Ernest Hemingway has said it, that the secret is to always stay below the point where it feels like work. I would like to end this book summary by the Goodhart's Law, which states that when a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. Measurement is only useful when it guides you and adds context to a larger picture, not when it consumes you. Thank you.